Poi body tracers. They look so cool, but they also look so hard. Isn't there any way to get into this pocket of the Poi world without having to spend hundreds of hours practicing to get there? As it turns out, I think there might be. In fact, I think I can probably teach you a body tracer in only 30 minutes. Drex here from DrexFactor Poi, sharing with you the love of poi spinning and flow arts to benefit your body and brain. And today, I am going to try and speed run you through a basic body tracer that I think I can teach in only a half an hour. But before we dive in, I just want to give a quick shout out to the friends of the channel. Big thanks to Dark Monk, Flowfests, Flow Toys, Pyroterra Light Toys, and Ultra Poi for helping to make the videos on this channel possible. You can learn more about all these amazing companies and the work that they're doing to support flow artists like yourself by checking out the links down in the description of this video. And special thanks to the non-business friend of the channel, Becca Becklinen. Thank you so very much for supporting my channel, my work, and my mission. So check this out. This is a vertical snake. It is actually one of the first body tracers that I ever learned, even though I didn't really know that it was a body tracer at the time. And despite the fact that it looks pretty complicated, I think that actually it can be broken up into some pretty manageable parts. And I think that with 5 simple steps that I have outlined in my head, I will be able to help you get this particular body tracer. Now, bear in mind, I have claimed some other beginner tricks like tuck turns should be considered body tracers in the past, but with this one, I want to give you something that absolutely everybody around you is going to know actually qualifies. So it's going to be a little bit more steep of a learning curve, but there's a way better payoff at the end too. And real quickly, before we dive in, if you like videos on poi spinning and flow arts, please make sure to subscribe to the channel as well as ring the bell so you catch every video that I drop. All right, so let's get started with step 1. All right, so first things first, we need to learn how to do a reverse or outward butterfly. This is as opposed to the inward one that is more common, but it's the one that we want for this particular body tracer. Here's how we're going to do it. First up, wrap up the poi in your hands so that they're not flopping about, and I want you to perform just that outward butterfly with your arms. I'm a big fan in training poi moves by using your naturally occurring awareness of your body in order to build that same awareness for your poi, and this is a great exercise for doing it. As you're performing these outward butterflies with your arms, make sure they're at full extension. I want you to give me 10 reps of this just to get a feel for it. After you got those 10 reps down, I want you to go ahead and let out 1 coil of the poi. They should be no longer than elbow length when you do so, and repeat the same exercise. I want you to perform that same outwards butterfly with the poi now poking out as a very, very short extension of your arms. Probably you're going to have to adjust the speed of your arms just a little bit until you find an equilibrium where the poi are not flopping, nor are they flying around all wildly. You just want to keep a nice, slow pace as you're doing this. Cool. So once it gets to feel comfortable doing 10 reps of this, that is with the poi at half length, I want you to go ahead and let them out to full length and repeat the same exercise. I want you to perform 10 reps with your arms and poi at full extensions. This takes up a lot of room, so maybe practice it outside or someplace where you've got high ceilings, totally up to you, but make sure to get to a point where you can do 10 reps of this fairly comfortably. All right, so once this feels comfortable, we're going to start moving down to only doing those big circles from our elbows instead of from our shoulders. And it brings down the total size of the circles, but we're still using our arms to find our way there. Once you can do 10 reps of this comfortably, go down to only performing these circles from your wrists. And guess what? You now have your outwards butterfly. You might have an issue with the poi running into each other, either at the bottom or the top of their arc. The way you fix that is to realize that the poi plane should be at a little bit of an angle. That is, if you look at them from the side, one of them is going to be tilting slightly back towards you, and the other one's going to be tilting slightly away from you. I generally find that whichever hand is on bottom, that winds up being the plane that's tilted away. But either way, you want to get to a point where you can keep the poi spinning in that outward butterfly for 10 reps. When you get there, you're ready for step 2. All right, so once those outward butterflies are feeling pretty comfortable, now it's time for us to get to a point where we can perform reels at our hips with those outward butterflies. This is going to be a little bit of a process, but I think we can get there. First thing I want you to do is I want you to point your index finger on your right hand out to the right side, and I want you to kind of slice it down around and poke it behind you for a second, and then come back out. Again, point out, slice it around, and then back out. What you're trying to do right here is get comfortable performing a little circle back behind your elbow and then bringing your finger back out. The reason being, I want you to practice doing this very same thing with the poi. We'll start out by just doing what I would refer to as a tic-tac, taking the poi back and forth across your body, like so. And we're going to move that over to the side of us, so we're looking at it from full profile rather than from straight on. And as it stands right now, the poi is always staying on the top part of my hand, like my thumb is always pointed upward, but I want to do this in such a way that I point my thumb down for a second as the poi sweeps behind me, like so. One way that you can think of this actually is if you want to kind of start with the poi spinning forwards on your side as you face over to stage right, you can turn a little bit, and as you face to stage left, you flick that finger around behind you and you turn so that the poi is now spinning reverse over on your stage left side. So again, spinning forwards, and as we turn, boom, we sweep it behind us and then back out with that little flip of the index finger. And we wind up with it spinning reverse over on stage left. We then have to learn how to do the same thing with the left hand. Spinning it forwards, doing that flick with the finger, and then bringing it out and around. You want to make sure that as you're doing this, you're getting the poi to spin once back behind your elbow with your thumb pointed down and your wrist pointing the palm of your hand behind you. That's the important part of this equation here. And once you get that down with both hands, I want you to practice alternating, going back and forth with each of them. I want you to be able to keep one hand and poi in front of you and one behind you at all times. You're basically alternating back and forth, back and forth. To get there, you can start off facing to stage right and thinking 3, 2, 1, and turn. Over to stage left, we think 3, 2, 1, and turn. Do 10 reps of that, and then facing over to stage right, thinking 1, 2, and turn. Over to stage left, we go 1, 2, and turn. Back to stage right, 1, 2, and turn. Back to stage left, 1, 2, and turn. And now we want to do it on ones. So we want to think just 1 and turn, 1 and turn, 1 and turn, and 1 and turn. Again, you want to be able to get to 10 reps of this before just taking out the rep entirely. Thinking that we face stage right, stage left, stage right, stage left, stage right, stage left, stage right, stage left. And at this point, you're going back and forth performing those hip reels. So you're in a good place, and you no longer have to move your face back and forth to either side in order to get there. Congratulations. And that means you're now ready for step 3. So step 3 is going to look a lot like step 2. The difference is that we're learning how to do these reels around our shoulders instead of around our hips. So just like we did with the last one, we're going to build up to it. Start off by giving me those tic-tacs off to the side, and specifically I want you to reach your arm as far out away from you as you possibly can as you're performing those tic-tacs back and forth, and then bend your elbow so that your hand comes up next to your ear. Go back and forth like this for 10 reps with your right hand, and then do the same thing with your left hand. Extend your arm all the way out, going back and forth, and then bend the elbow, keep your hand up next to your ear, and go back and forth for 10 reps, like so. All right, so now we need to get it down so that the hands are each working at the same time. And the best way I know how to do that is build up to it just like we did with our last exercise. So here's how. You're going to get your right hand poi spinning forwards on your right hand side and your left hand poi spinning reverse on your left hand side, holding them up close to your ears as you face over to stage right. You're going to do 3, 2, 1 beats and turn with them so that now the right poi is going reverse and the left poi is going forwards as you face over to stage left. And once again, you're going to think 3, 2, 1 and turn. 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. You want to get in 10 reps at 3 counts on each side. And then you're going to think 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Again, try and get in 10 reps of this version of the exercise. And then finally, you're just going to go down to doing 1, 1, 1, 1 as you go straight back and forth. And if it's easier at this point to just move your hands back and forth rather than move your shoulders, that's totally fine. You can also keep your shoulders moving. Either way, I want you to be able to get in 10 reps as you're switching back and forth with your poi going in front of and behind you. Always one in front, always one behind, switching back and forth like so. And when you can get 10 reps of that in, you're ready for step 4. Cool, so for step 4, we're actually going to combine together steps 2 and 3. Basically, I'm going to start off by performing 1, 2, 3, 4 reps at my hips and then moving up to my shoulders for another 1, 2, 3, 4 reps. I come back down to my hips, I want to think 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Be really careful with your timing as you're doing this. Make sure that you're keeping the poi in together time so they're always coming up at the same time. We don't want to get into split time here where you get one on top and one on bottom. We want to make sure they're both on bottom and then both on top together. So again, we want to get in 10 reps of this. We want to think 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, like so, going back and forth between the bottom and the top and going back down again. And when you can get in 10 reps going back and forth between the bottom and the top, you're ready for our final step to put the whole thing together. All right, so believe it or not, if you've done this exercise where you're doing the multiple beats on top and on bottom, you already have all the pieces you need to be able to do the full trick. We just need to reduce the number of reps that you're doing on top and on bottom. So let's work on doing that, shall we? Start off by giving me 1, 2, 3 on bottom, 1, 2, 3 on top, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Get comfortable just doing those 3 beats, and most important of all, make sure you're able to shift instantly back and forth. So if I've got my right going behind me on my final count on the bottom, I'll have my left going behind me on my first count going up top. Think right, and then left, right, left, like so. Once you can get 10 reps of that down, we're going to move down to only doing 2 reps in each spot. So we're going to think 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, like so. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Again, we want to shoot for 10 reps, and when that's comfortable, we want to go down to only doing 1 rep in each spot. We want to think 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, like so. And at that point, you actually do have the move down. The only thing you got to change about this is as you're bringing the poi around down, spread out your arms like that extension that we started with in our first exercise, and you're there. Think right behind, left behind, out. Left behind, right behind, out. Right behind, left behind, out. Left behind, right behind, out. Again, try and keep your timing consistent. Right, left, out, left, right, out, right, left, out, left, right, out. And that's the move. Sweet, I hope this was helpful. If you got the move down, please post video of it online and make sure to tag me. I would love to come see your hard work, and I will even leave you a little bit of encouragement there too. And if you're hungry to learn more about body tracing, you're in luck, because that is the theme for this month's Flow Circle. The Flow Circle is a weekly exclusive lesson that's available only to my Patreon supporters, and this month we're focusing in on body tracers. Everything from the basic skills of using reels and linear isolations, all the way way up to figuring out specific moves like archer weave fountains, and even a recipe by which you can turn most flowers into body tracers as well. To check that out, go sign up over at patreon.com/DrexFactorPoi. The first lesson is available now. Did you get anything out of this video? Please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to help other people find it, and of course, to help my channel grow. This video would not be possible without my amazing supporters on Patreon. In particular, I'd love to give a shout out to my Flow patrons who are listed on screen right now. Thank you so much, you all rock. And if you out there watching are not currently a supporter but you'd like to become one, you can do that by signing up at my Patreon over at patreon.com/DrexFactorPoi. There you can find a whole host of awesome rewards, but even better than that, you'll be helping me out in my mission to bring poi spinning and flow arts to the whole wide world. So go check that out, please and thank you. And if you like the idea of learning poi tricks in only a half an hour, I will go ahead and link to a video I did teaching poi flowers in only 30 minutes that I will link to down in the description as well as up on screen. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to get out and flow yourself today, and I'll see you with a new video real soon. Take care now. Peace.